Berwick August. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I always write down Augustine, and it's Augustin because there's no E at the end, guys. Yeah, that's me being human and letting you know that sometimes I mess up. It's okay. But Berwick is a father, a writer, a speaker, an educator, and performing artist who has authored so many plays and spoken word albums and books. Basically, he's good with his words. So you guys got to get ready to take some notes because Berwick is coming to the virtual stage. Berwick, please feel free to take yourself off of mute.
All right, Karen, thank you for that introduction. And I want to say good afternoon to everyone and thank you for having me. And I'll just jump right into it. So we all know that the head is the command center of the entire human body because obviously that's where the brain is. And without it, existence is non-existent. And livelihood is fatal. Now we can agree that the head is the most important part of the body for any living organism, right? Because without it, the body's in disarray and there's no life. That's why fathers are so crucial. I mean, they're supposed to be the head of the home by function and by role. I mean, that's called headship, right? And so I also want to talk about kingdom. So kingdom is a territory ruled by a king or a queen. So now when we combine headship and kingdom along with the right mindset, we can create systems that can leave a royal legacy that can last for generations to come. All right, so today we're going to talk about 3 things a father needs to create a legacy for him and his family. So those 3 things are: number 1, to protect the heart; number 2, to protect the mind; and number 3, to manage money well. Those things make a big part of your character. I mean, when we think about legacy, we think about who we are and what we do, what we leave behind, and how those processes actually impact the future. Right. So before I start, let me share a personal story. So when I think of the person I am today, after God, I owe it to my parents. And so today I'm going to focus on my dad. So he made some life-altering sacrifices for our family to have the legacy that we have today. He came to America in 1978 and left a wife and 2 kids in Haiti. And so my sister and I were 3 and 2 years old. He came here with nothing, didn't speak any English, limited education. He started from scratch. And so the family finally reunited in 1986 when I was 10 years old in Miami, Florida. I mean, my pops is a hardworking man. He drove a taxi for about 30 years, and he's also a very spiritual man. So he protected our hearts and our minds by teaching us to fear God. Man, that man will put Jesus in any and every situation he could find. All right. And he also told us and showed us that the heart and the mind can only be changed through a relationship with Christ. See, and although he had no more than a high school education, he knew how to manage money. At one point, it was 7 of us living in a 2-bedroom house. Needless to say that we were financially challenged. But it wasn't until I was an adult I found out that he actually owned a duplex where we lived. We stayed on one side, and he rented out the other side. You see, now all those lessons about protecting the heart, the mind, and managing money well helped me to survive a difficult upbringing as an immigrant child living in Miami, specifically North Haiti, which was very difficult back in the 80s and the 90s. So today I'm proud to say that all of us who grew up in that house are all college graduates, and we're leading families of our own. Right, so let me get to my first point. So protecting the heart, right? Headship involves so many different components. It includes provision, protection, guidance, responsibility, just to name a few, right? And each of those components can actually be dissected into their own thesis. Now, I believe that they can all be captured by the heart. I mean, all attitudes and behaviors come from the heart. It's also the battlefield where evil and righteousness, right and wrong are constantly in conflict. But love also comes from the heart. And we all know that love can conquer all things. Now, when we look at the conditions of our families, our neighborhoods, our communities, our nation, our world, whether we talk about racism, police brutality, or crime, it's never enough to deal with the behavior if the condition of the heart is not addressed. So fathers, as the kings of our homes, we have to watch over the hearts of our people with diligence because out of the heart flows the springs of life. So how do we do that? So as a servant leader, you have to set a standard that's bigger than you. If not, your legacy will stop with you. See, for my dad, Jesus was a standard for the family. What's your standard? If you don't have one, adopt one. If you don't know how to pray, ask, seek, knock on some doors until you get a mentor. See, you have to protect the heart of the people and your kingdom to secure a lasting legacy for your family tree. All right, so point number 2, you got to guard the mind. In addition to being a king, I mean, you're also a poet, right? Because every day you have the ability to write kindness and truth on a tablet of hearts. I go back to the heart because the heart references the mind, which is the seat of thoughts, emotions, and also your will. So guarding the mind is extremely important because it's going to help you muster the courage, the strength, and the wisdom you need to lead. It requires ongoing vigilance. As the head, you are responsible for everything that comes under your influence: family, career, your community, especially your kids, who can be engaged in ongoing battle with today's electronic media. And it's so crucial to program their minds with things like truth and integrity and culture and love. I mean, you have to do a brain dump of wisdom into their minds to train them in a way that they should go when they get older. Even if they go astray, at least they have a foundation to come home to. So we have to equip them to be better leaders than you when they eventually replace you. And so all the fathers, I thank you for doing it, because a lot of you guys are already doing that, but I encourage you to strive to do better. And for my kings who need to make their ways back home to the rightful thrones, it's not too late. And in order for you to do those things that I mentioned, you have to have them on your own. So you have to be able to embrace your weaknesses, learn how to turn them into strengths. I mean, whether you're down on your luck or former felon, I want you to understand that your DNA and your fingerprints as a father can never be expunged or taken away from you. And if you're in a situation where you don't have everyday access to your children, challenge yourself to utilize available resources to help you. If you're committed and consistent about making that change, it'll happen. And ladies, it's a side note. If you just happen to be on the other side of the conversation, please understand that a healthy relationship between a father and his children has to be more important than your beef with that man. I'm just saying, that's just a side note. So fellas, get plugged into a community of men who can help you get your mind right, because your legacy depends on it. All right, so my third point, manage money well. I mean, money plays such a big role in life. Much of our time is devoted to earning it. I mean, you have to learn how to use it wisely. And this current pandemic has exposed a lot of us, because it has shown some of us that we're just a paycheck away from being on the streets. So we have to learn how to turn our dollars into compound interest workers that can go out and multiply themselves so you can make money while you sleep. So we have to learn how to be the lender, not the borrower, and employee instead of employee, entrepreneur to own properties. This is crucial for my Black people, because the wealth gap is so wide in America due to systemic racist processes that we've had to endure for hundreds of years. But today we have all the tools, the talent, the time, and the resources to make and earn money to change that narrative. Notice that money was the third point, because it cannot and should not come before your family. As a matter of fact, if you play your cards right, financial freedom will enable you to have the quality of life to spend more time with your loved ones. You know, when I look at our current world, I see an ocean of desperate souls screaming and drowning for help. And most of them are part of a body with no headship to steer them into their kingdoms. So fathers, we have a huge responsibility, because we were created with a compass in our minds to lead. And when we fail to lead and teach, we leave destructive legacies. See, your decisions and devotions can either destroy or deliver 3 to 4 generations. So for those who don't have fathers, or fathers are no longer around, I pray and hope that God put a father figure in your life to help you along. And fathers and father figures, I want to encourage you to get your heart right and your mind right by living your life by a set of godly standards that will rightfully govern every aspect of your being. And although money is not everything, manage it in a way that it covers everything you need to sustain your kingdom for generations to come. Thank y'all for listening.